Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grandest spectacle of the year, the event that dazzles, astounds, and leaves us all in awe. I am delighted to stand before you as we kick off the most spectacular event in the training industry, the Lenny Awards Customer Showcase. Please allow me to extend my deepest gratitude to you for joining us today. While you're getting settled in, drop into the chat and let us know where you're enjoying the show. During the awards, please feel free to use the chat to engage with us and our winners. My name's Ryan, and it's a pleasure to be your host as we celebrate the exceptional achievements of Litmos customers who have delivered nothing short of extraordinary in the world of training. We received submissions that shone like the brightest stars in the night sky, making the task of choosing winners a challenge for the ages. This year, our community has outdone themselves, demonstrating a level of dedication and innovation that has left us truly breathless. Each submission was a testament to the hard work, creativity, and passion that you pour into your training programs. Thank you to all of our amazing customers who entered the Lenny Awards and for continuing to inspire us. While I'm no P.T. Barnum and unfortunately I'm fresh out of Dancing Elephants, I do have the pleasure of introducing each of our winners so they can tell us how they achieved such brilliance. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment and recognize our runners-up who gave everyone a run for their money. The 2023 Standing Ovation Award winners are Kooth, Frankly, Icertis Inc., Australian Finance Group, Eaton Electrical Engineering Services and Systems Division, Krispy Kreme Australia, Stride Mental Health Australia, National Wood Flooring Association, Atlona, Lima Corporate, Robbins and Morton, and Royal Flying Doctor Service, Western Australia. So without further ado, let's send some virtual high fives and a thumbs up to those who have transformed training into an art form, pushing the boundaries of what is possible. Today, we honor the trailblazers, the visionaries, and the tireless trainers and administrators who make the Lenny Awards a celebration of excellence in every sense of the word. Prepare to be inspired, delighted, and moved, for today, we unveil the stars of our show, the luminaries of learning, the winners of the Lenny Awards. Enjoy the show, dear friends, and let the magic of this extraordinary event fill your hearts with wonder and your minds with endless possibilities. Let's begin with the winner of our Best Employee Training category. And the winner is Sparrow Malvino at LaborMAX Staffing. Sparrow, congratulations on your win. Could you tell us a little more about LaborMAX and how you're using Litmos?
Absolutely. Thank you, Ryan. On behalf of LaborMAX Staffing, we are honored to receive this award. I do not view this as a me award. This is a we award. Without our learners, it wouldn't happen. So this is for all of us at LaborMAX. We love our partnership with Litmos that we've had since 2018. They are a great partner because they always provide tools and are improving their product and features, which allow us to create everything we need. We've been able to get rid of some of our other content authoring tools because of the features on Litmos. And they provide all of the topics for HR buzz, things going on as well. Yeah. I'd like to give a shout out to my teammate, Jessica Kraus, who's our learning facilitator, and Tessa Ciara Mataro, our area trainer, as well as the entire LaborMAX staffing family for joining the stream or watching later. Thank you for learning with us. So LaborMAX's motto is changing people's lives is what we do, and putting them back to work is how we do it. And last year we helped over 42,000 people back to work in over 120 locations across the country. And wow. We couldn't do that without being able to train our internal employees. And we basically have our internal teammates, and then our temporary workers. And again, we use our platform to train all of our internal employees. So far this year, 18,500 courses taken by our internal team, with 39% of those being taken by choice. Most people for us come to the platform because they have to for new hire training, but they return because they want to continue learning. And this is pretty remarkable because before Litmos, we weren't even sure if we needed a learning department or a learning management system. And really, before Litmos, we had one training document, and that was delivered with varying degrees of success in all of our locations. Sometimes that was 40 hours of side-by-side training with someone who was really excited to train you and work with you. And other times it was, here are the keys, good luck. And that's a big difference. So with our learning management system, we're able to provide access to information regardless of location. Everybody gets the opportunity to be successful. And we're able to do this with an extremely small department and very limited resources. We couldn't do what we do without all of our learners and without such an easy and wonderful platform to work with. In terms of ROI, we mitigate $17 million of cybersecurity risk yearly with our information assurance training that's on our platform. We also had an estimated savings of $153,000 last year for our new hire onboarding, and another $95,000 of estimated savings for being able to create content in-house versus outsourcing it. It's really because of our partnership with Litmos that we were nominated and received not only this award, but 2 Brandon Hall Excellence Awards with Litmos this year.
Yeah.
And I know, which yay, what a partnership, right? Litmos is a really easy platform to implement and use and can help you create a culture of learning like it has in ours. So if I had advice, embrace change. Learning happens when we're uncomfortable and we're willing to grow. And without anything else, I would just say LaborMAX Staffing thanks you again for this award. I'm so honored to receive this for all of us.
Thank you, Sparrow. Thank you, and congratulations again. Such an inspiring story, and we just appreciate the partnership with you and with everyone else at LaborMAX. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have our best customer training category, and the winner is Hannah Straub at Passages Israel. Hannah, welcome. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ryan. I'm Hannah. I'm the Associate Director of Online Education here at Passages. So a little bit about Passages. We are a nonprofit that takes Christian college students to Israel on 10-day trips. And so a huge part of that is we do a pre-trip course and a post-trip course. So pre-trip, we're telling them stuff like, if you're in the desert, you're going to need to bring a water bottle, all the way to like exploring the history of anti-Semitism and the Holocaust so that they have a really good trip in Israel. And then our post-trip, they do like a capstone project and turn in essays. So we need like a really robust system to host this because we're taking over like 1,000 students a year. And to be honest, before we were working with Litmos, we were using a WordPress app that shall not be named and a series of Excel sheets. And it was like a wreck, like managing hundreds of students every month on this app was not working. So we got on with Litmos about 2 years ago, and it was a game changer. We now have like 60 courses running in there. We're training not just our students, but our peer leaders, our chaplains, our staff. It has like changed the way we're working. Like no more Excel sheet trying to find stuff. It's been wonderful.
No more Excel sheets, like just for everyone. Like let's just make a rule today. No more Excel spreadsheets.
Yeah, 100%. So with that, our course completion rates have actually gone up even this year, just by like 24%, because we're using stuff like automatic reminders that's in Litmos, or I'm able to pull detailed reports to see like who hasn't even logged in, so I can like give them a little extra nudge. So just like the tools that Litmos provides has been like so helpful, and we're seeing like actual numbers increase using them, and they've saved hundreds of hours because no more Excel spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing that's also been super helpful is we just started using the leaderboard function on our dashboards, and the college students go crazy over
Free
it.
gamification.
Yes, we're like a badge system. You can see this is our lovely setup. So I have it set up so as they complete their courses, like they rise to the top, and that has really helped. Game changer. Um, yeah, I would say my advice to anyone who's using Litmus is just try everything. Like press all the buttons, try all the features. If anything goes wrong, like Litmus will bail you out. When I was building that banner a couple of months ago, I made it so big it took down the entire site for like a whole hour, and I called up Litmus, and they helped me and got through it. So yeah, don't be afraid to break things because Litmus will bail you out. I think just to close, it's so exciting to me being able to work with Litmus and like give this training to students that we wouldn't be able to do otherwise because they're all over the states. Like just last week, I was grading this essay from this college student in Oklahoma who went on our trip, and he'd never been out of the States before. He'd never even left the state of Oklahoma, and he went with us this summer to Israel. And he said, like, it was life-changing being there on the Sea of Galilee, like learning more about his faith, like getting to meet other cultures and people. And that just wouldn't be possible without this training and without this platform. And I'm so grateful for our students and for Litmus to partner with us. So thank you so much for this award.
Wow, Hannah, truly inspiring, and congratulations again on the award. Thank you for joining us today, and I wish you all the best in the future training endeavors and the next group that you take over to Israel. So thank you again for joining us, and congratulations on the award. Yeah. So that brings us to our next category, folks, which brings us into our best service training category. And the winner is Shane Conley at Zipline Academy. Shane, congratulations, sir. Welcome, welcome, and congratulations on the award.
Thank you so much. It's thrilling to be here. Litmos is actually the first third-party company, I would say, that recognized our academy. So this was a big win for our company to have our learning and development team recognized for the hard work we do outside of Zipline. What Zipline is, if you don't know, is we're a logistic company that started commercial operations in 2016. There's 1,200 employees right now that are all dependent on our learning through Litmos. The majority of those 1,200 employees are all remote in different locations all around the world. So having a successful LMS was, crucial for us to be able to deliver all those different pieces of content. The types of people using this at Zipline, I should back up a little bit. So our main thing that we do that's really unique is we're a drone delivery company. And when we started delivering products back in Rwanda in 2016, our main product was emergency blood supply. So you can imagine that the drone flies out to very remote locations that would otherwise not have equal access to healthcare, right, and then delivers the blood by drone from the sky. It parachutes down to the customer. The doctor runs out, grabs the product, runs in, saves someone's life. In 2019, and this is how it gets to the learning part of it. In 2019, when they hired me, the main problem was under those stressful conditions, you knew that product you were delivering was, EMS emergency, right? And if they didn't get it, there was a high likelihood there were no other plan B in those locations. So the technicians would err under stress. It's just human nature, strip bolts, break things. I think all of us on this call probably drive a vehicle or ride in a vehicle or transport in a vehicle that we take for granted that every nut and bolt is extremely dependent on the quality of the technician, right? So unfortunately, when they would stress and break something, there was a high likelihood that the patient wouldn't get the product and they could pass away. So as Zipline built this world-class academy through extremely dedicated service training, and ramping that up, we had a 90% reduction in 1 year, the first year, in fastener damage just due to the courses we were able to deliver worldwide to hundreds of technicians. So it got to a point where Zipline really became a trusted distributor. So instead of just emergency orders, now we became like stocking supply. Fascinating history to think about how Zipline got to that place today.
Yeah.
With that in mind, trying to keep this mindful to the time frame here, today as we move into a new platform and we're moving into the, I got some statistics into food and quick commerce markets. The food market alone in the US is a $28 billion market. And it's really easy to think about sales and think about what happens with getting those products there. But as a company, we cannot operate without service, right? If that chip doesn't connect in the drone to the charging dock, if everything about it is so complicated, and when I say complicated, it's so has to be intentional on how we service it. So our training program is wildly going to be on steroids for our next platform delivery on this. But Litmos has just been a great partner in that for being able to centralize everything. And I really like that you gave this advice to other customers, that last little slide there. One of the biggest things I'd say on advice to, teams is that it's so easy for training departments to be cut. Like a lot of times they're the first cut. COVID was a nightmare for everyone, right? We were so able to sustain during COVID because of our proven ability through remote training. We did such a good job of documenting and tracing, through reporting, like how did this training affect operations, that when it came time to look at those cuts, training wasn't an option. They knew that like this was the core to our operation, was high quality training. So I think that's where Litmos was a big win for us, is the traceability, if you will.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shane, thank you again for joining us today. Another inspiring story, literally saving lives. So thank you, Shane, for sharing with us today, all of the amazing things that Zipline is doing. Thank you for being a Litmos partner. Congratulations on the win. And I hope you have an even wildly more successful 2024. So thank you, sir.
All right. Appreciate you all. Congratulations to everyone on the call.
All right. All right. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have our Best Employee Training Award. And the winner is Celigo with Tony Deblauwe and Katie Pezold. Katie, Tony, welcome. How are we doing? Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, excited to be here, Ryan. I wish I could match your energy. I've been trying to think of like a Greatest Showman joke to throw in there, but alas, I appreciate the excitement over there. We are obviously super honored to win this. We think what we do is pretty awesome, and we're appreciative for what you all do on your end as well. So Celigo, for those of you who don't know, we really focus on automation. And so as you're joking about spreadsheets, it made my soul happy. Yes, no more spreadsheets. We really want to focus on how can we simplify what all of the other businesses here would like to do. How can we automate for you so you can get back to doing what you need to do to scale effectively? So really cool to be here, talk about how Litmos has really helped us grow. My name, as you mentioned, is Katie Pezold. I'm a training specialist here, so I am part of our learning and enablement team, and a lot of my role focuses on our internal enablement. So I run New Hire Bootcamp, which introduces our new employees to Celigo, kind of gives them what they need to get up and running. And then I'm also part of our broader enablement team, which focuses more on that continual enablement. So we've been with Litmos for 3.5 years now. We, in the midst of all the wildness of 2020, realized the need for an LMS. So we actually did not have an LMS prior to Litmos. So we're super grateful for how you all have allowed us to create Celigo University, which is what we've kind of dubbed our program here. And we're able to train customers, partners, and employees through that. So a couple ways, and then I would love to pass off to Tony here in a second as well. A couple ways that we've used Litmos and our own in-house integrations. Really, we've been able to streamline our hire to retire process. So one thing that I love is we've been able to set up a lot of auto assign rules. So jumping ahead of the advice, but if you're not using that, you should, as a company that is all about automation. Really appreciate that the second, a new hire is imported into Litmos, we're able to trigger those rules to get them all the training they need right away. So that has been awesome, just to not have to sit and manually add each course to new hires. We've been able to build out some really great learning paths to get folks up and running. We also recently won a 2023 Great Places to Work Award. And it is, we're kind of a big deal.
Yeah, you are.
My favorite component of that was 97% of new Celigans reported just really feeling welcome when they started. And so I think having what they need, right, getting that stuff preloaded and having what they need to be successful right off the bat is a huge part of that. So super grateful for that. I know Tony has some awesome things he's been able to do with HR as well. So I'm passing over to Tony.
Thanks, Katie. Appreciate that. Litmos was always in the core of Celigo when I started, and it was very contained around, as Katie described, the university experience. And so people would talk about that and having such a great experience. And so as I was growing out beyond the base that university provided, what else could we do? Certainly we're looking at culture. This is prior to getting the award. And I thought, well, one of the things that's key, of course, is professional competencies. And, my background, I've worked with different LMS tools as well. And I was very happy that I could take content that I created for a learning path around professional competencies, get it in the system, and then use all of the technology that the system offers to get it out and just make it part of the standard growth path for people. And like Katie said, we drink our own champagne. So, Litmos is all connected. So adding my component creates that broader experience, broader employee experience, and extends that professional competency and growth outside of what Katie team and university is doing when they first come in. So I'm able to capitalize on the great work that was done, put in my content, use the same automation mechanism, and it goes all the way through. And, of course, we get the reports, we bring that to managers, and that helps to make sure that we have accountability, because that's important with the tracking of what we're training, not just taking it, but actually, applying it. So I've been very pleased with my ability to do more with the platform and, capitalize on what makes us a great place to work and our overall employee experience. So very, very happy to not only have that, cross-department partnership, but also infuse it into, who we are and why it's great to be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The employee experience is so important, as we all know, and as we all talk about so often. So congratulations, Katie. Congratulations, Tony, and to the entire Celigo team. We love the partnership. We love working with you guys. And I'm just so happy that you guys got this award. So congratulations again. Thank you for joining us today. And with that, we're going to go ahead and move into our next category, which is Best Branded Platform. And the winner is Christine Cantamessa and the Papé Group. My friend Christine, how we doing?
Thank you, Ryan. I am great. Thank you so much for honoring us with this award. We are so proud of what we have been able to do. But I also want to say I apologize for any background noise. Because it was last minute, we have gardeners and yard crew out working at the store. So this is as quiet as I get.
That's okay. It's just a little ambient noise. It's all good.
Exactly. So let me just kind of get started, because unlike everyone else who has presented, I have several slides to walk you through. But first, let's just talk about Papé. We are a Pacific Northwest company. We have over 160 locations that range from Alaska all the way down to the San Diego, Mexico border. We have 4,450 employees who have never had a learning management system before. Wow. So this is our very first learning environment where we actually get to invest in our members. So we were excited to really build this platform and not only create that learning culture, but we really wanted to earn our learner, if you will. So I want to call out just a couple people. I started this myself and then brought on our instructional designer, Tammy Parks, who has helped with some of our branding, and our learning and development specialist, Sasha Bennett, who has also helped us. So as we go through this, you're going to see that we really started at the very beginning. So go ahead, Ryan, if you will, and go to the next slide. This is where you turn in to your dashboard. It's the first image that you see. You'll notice those 3 large banners. Those pictures represent each one of our divisions, and that banner does scroll. So we have 7 different high profile images that represent everyone within the company. So you can also see, if you would, at the top left-hand corner, we have named our system. We are Papé Learn, and we have our branded colors. And then each one of the tabs for home, content library, achievements will highlight in our yellow branded color as you're on that page.
It's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, next slide. This is where you also can come in and sign in. So on the left-hand side is your Papé Learn email notification. You get this beautiful picture that says, hello, Christine, you've been invited to take this course. And again, you can see the Papé Learn, you can see the coloring. It is all highly branded for every one of our divisions. Because each division does have a little different color. And some of you may know Litmos has an option to do themes. And Ryan and I discussed this heavily, whether we were going to do a different theme for each one of our divisions. And we really decided against it because we're so siloed as it is. We wanted everybody to feel like they had the same learning place to come, like a learning library, if you will. We walk in, we're one family. So on the left or the right-hand side, this is the sign-in screen on your mobile app. So not only did we brand the desktop URL, but we also branded our mobile.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. Okay, Ryan, next slide. So the other thing that we have done inside Papé Learn, we decided not only did we want it to be branded when you signed in and what you looked at, but when you started taking actual courses. So working with our instructional designer, Tammy Parks, we decided that we were going to really start calling out the types of learnings that we were promoting. So Papé Learn is our brand name, but if you will, Papé Learn Original is something that Tammy is creating from scratch. Papé Learn Certified is something that we are saying we didn't create all the content, but we utilized some existing content and then customized it to fit our need as well. And then we have a Papé Learn Approved. So when we're using a third-party content, that would be a Papé Learn Approved. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see we just have some PowerPoint templates that have been created that have the Papé Learn brand, and our coloring all matches. So that is part of what we are doing inside the platform as well. Okay, I think I have one more screen, Ryan.
Okay.
No?
No,
Maybe
that was it. But I think that we did get a couple of questions. So let's see. It looks like Anne was asking, where are you hosting your images?
So through marketing, our third-party vendor, Adherence, has our pictures hosted, and they went in and reconfigured them for me. So they're hosted out on AWS.
Gotcha. So they're hosted on AWS. Excellent. Excellent. Were there any other questions? Was that the only one? I think that was the only one. So, Christine,
Okay.
always a pleasure hanging out with you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and the rest of our learning community today. Congratulations on the award. Very well deserved. And I can't wait to see what the next evolution for Papé Learn is in 2024. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Ryan, and thank you for recognizing all of our hard work.
You bet, Christine. Very well deserved. So that brings us, ladies and gentlemen, to our next category, which is Best Sales Training. And the winner is Ted Martin and Factor 8. Ted, congratulations, sir, and welcome. How we doing?
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. We're doing great. Thanks a lot for taking the time.
You bet, Ted. Tell us a little bit more about how you guys are leveraging Litmos. Tell us more about Factor 8.
Awesome. Yeah, no problem. So Factor 8, for those of you that don't know, we are a collective of sales and revenue leaders that left the corporate world to focus on what we're most passionate about. And it's teaching people the skills of how to sell in a virtual world, as well as teaching new frontline sales managers the skills of how to do their job. And so everything that we're motivated about is about building confidence in young, as well as experienced sellers and people that are trying to go into sales leadership. We started working with Litmos in around 2019, and luckily it was extremely helpful to our business going into the challenges that we had in 2020 with COVID, as well as the changing learning environments that people were tapping into. And so the people that we are typically training are external customers. We've had over 6,000 people that have gone through our training environments. And it's allowed us to actually change the way in which we interact with our customer base to where it's no longer training as an event, but we're able to incorporate training into a more broader experience to where people are being trained, but also coached throughout the year. And so it's an ongoing developmental process for folks. And it's been great because over the course of the last 3 to 4 years, we've won Selling Power's Top Training Provider of the Year, as well as the American Association to Inside Sales Training Providers of the Year. And that's in large to do with the partnership with Litmos and our ability to provide a quality product. And I think, all the ROI aside, I think the thing that we're most excited about is the work that we're able to do through our sister company, which is called #GirlsClub. If you want to check it out, it's called wearegirlsclub.com. And what's great about Girls Club is that we take our frontline sales leadership content and share it with our sister company, Girls Club. And the whole reason for Girls Club is to help women that are aspiring to go into sales leadership have an area to build confidence, but also learn the skills to be able to get that next gig. And believe it or not, I never realized it for myself, but when I was sitting as an executive in most of my leadership teams over the course of my career, I didn't realize there was a lack of women there. So it's something that we're seriously excited about. And over the past 4 years with the partnership with Litmos, we've been able to help 400 women get a new job as well as jump into sales leadership. So outside of all the ROI numbers and the revenue, that's the real thing that we're most excited about.
I love that. I love that story. And, numbers tell part of that story, but it's really about the experiences and the opportunities that we create for our learners and our user base. So Ted, what a story, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us today. Congratulations again on the award. And I can't wait to see what's next for you guys. So enjoy the rest of your time today, sir. And we will talk again soon.
Thanks a lot. And Ryan, one more thing though. I want to give a shout out to Omar, who's our account manager at Litmos.
Yeah. Omar.
Omar's my guy, first off. And second, he has, and the whole team, but Omar specifically, there's no technical question that he can't help us get answers to. And when we come into a crunch with needing advice with our clients, like Omar's always been there right away. So I think, just something to think about for advice for other customers is just, tap into the account management team, because there's a lot of really intelligent folks over there that can help you out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks,
Thank you for that shout out, Ted. We love Omar. So that brings us now, ladies and gentlemen, to our next category, which is Best Service Training. And the winner is Acorns Children's Hospice with Carrie Sprayson. Carrie, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you, Ryan. Hi, it's great to be here. So firstly, let me tell you about Acorns. So we're a children's hospice charity, and we provide essential specialist palliative care services to babies, young children, young people, and families across our region in the UK. And we are the largest children's hospice in the whole of Europe, and we're very proud. We're made up of 3 hospices, 45 retail shops, a huge fundraising and supporter service department, a family service team that does work with the families, siblings, children across 3 regions, all of our central functions, and over 1,000 volunteers. So it's a highly complex organisation with a multifaceted departments all working together to create what we do, and that's really, really humbling to work for.
Yeah.
So, not only is it an amazing cause, but winning this award celebrates and really cements the work that my amazing team have done. So our talent development team for the last 12 months in building our academy, which we've used Litmos platform to do. But it also gives me an opportunity to raise the awareness of Acorns Children's Hospice across the pond, across the world. So I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity. So we've worked with Litmos for about 4 years now. And recently, maybe the last 12 months, we've spent establishing and building an academy that really enables us to identify the right learning, that we create the right learning and deliver the right learning to all of our teams across all of the different services that I mentioned earlier, to enable them to grow, learn and succeed in achieving our Acorns vision and our strategic goals, which, as you heard, are really important. And, every baby, child, young person living in our region who is life limited or life threatened, and their families should receive the specialist care and support that they need. And that's what we get up every day to do. And Litmos has enabled us to really start to develop some outstanding learning to do that. So it's really a one-stop shop for learning and development across the whole of all of those areas. It gives us a consistent and a really cohesive learning and development experience for our employees and our volunteers. So that's our stage 2 of our academy. It's all about new and exciting learning opportunities relevant to each role, to each person. And we've got 120 different roles within Acorns, all with a bespoke learning journey for mandatory, core and developmental learning, which is just huge for us. And we've never had anything like this before, or been in a position to be able to do it. And Litmos has enabled that. And the functionality that we've recently discovered from you has been outstanding. And all of this just really does allow us to champion internal succession. One of the things that we talk about a lot is success through people. And you can see behind me, our Acorns Academy branding isn't about our children. So that's the output of the service we offer, but it's about the people that work within Acorns that enable us to take care of those children and their families. So we're very much about success through people, championing internal succession. And one of the things we're most proud of, so I could talk about the ROI, but there's too many different learning initiatives happening to tell you that. But one that we are most proud of is that we're taking some of our healthcare assistants through a trainee nurse associate program using some levy funding and the Litmos platform to finally get to a stage of being specialist palliative care nurses. We hope, fingers crossed, if they continue that journey, but the opportunity is absolutely there for them. And another thing that we're really proud of is the consistent, I suppose, leadership approach that we've taken that enables and promotes the success of our people. So that's what we do. That's what Academy is all about, and Litmos has been a platform that has enabled us to do that. And there's more to come, loads more to do, and we're all really, really excited about what's next.
Carrie, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for all of the work that you and Acorns does for those that need it most. What a story! What a story! And really excited to see what the next chapter holds for you guys, and here to support and help in every way that we can. So, Carrie, congratulations to you and to the entire team at Acorns. A very, very well-deserved award. Thank you so much, Carrie.
Thank you so much, Ryan. And thank you to all of my team as well. Talent development team at Acorns are just superb.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. All right, folks. Well, that brings us along to our next category, Best Partner Training. Pleased to welcome and announce Chad Wunderlich at Viking Pump. Chad, congratulations, sir, and welcome to the show. How we doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Ryan, and thank you, Litmos, for recognizing the work we've done at Viking Pump. Quick introduction: I am the Global Distributor Development Manager for Viking Pump. Essentially, that just means I'm the training guy here at Viking. Quick description of Viking: we are a manufacturer of pumps for a wide variety of liquids. We sell pumps into petroleum, chemical, food, pharmaceutical, and personal care types applications. Everything from asphalt to soap to chocolate to toothpaste, you name it. And we sell through a network of authorized stocking distributors around the globe. That would be about 250 distributor locations. So really prior to launching an LMS system, we are a 112-year-old company, and we really started to look like it. Training was an event. We had to either host training here in our Cedar Falls, Iowa location, meaning that we're trying to travel our distributors from all over the world to get here, or we're taking the show on the road and we're taking it to them. And in either case, training was a long, drawn-out process of planning and shipments and everything else to make these events happen. So back in 2018, we kind of started this journey of getting into LMS. Back then, we could barely spell LMS. We didn't know what we were doing. And so we knew we had to partner with somebody with experience in this, and that's why we selected Litmos. We did not know at the time that 2020, the world was going to shut down, and that our in-person training would basically be completely canceled over that period of time. So that amount of, I'd call it more luck than foresight, helped us to be able to have training available throughout a really tough time of basically shutting down any sort of in-person training. Today, Litmos for us and LMS has sort of become not just a way to really get to them on day one when they get employed at their distributorship, whether it be in Illinois or Mexico or Australia. We can access them right away. We get them onto a 20-course learning path that we call onboarding. That is now a prerequisite for coming to in-person training. That way, everybody's really starting with that same foundational knowledge when they show up. But the other thing is, after that, the training doesn't stop. It's not a matter of having them come in for a training event and then go home and start to immediately forget what they learned. They can come back onto the site and continue to partake in that training. At this point, we're up to about 150 courses out there of varying topics: what to sell, where to sell, how to sell, servicing pumps, troubleshooting pumps, just general pump industry topics. Anything that they'd need available on the fly to view for the first time or as a refresher before they go out and say visit a chocolate customer. Best to go out and sort of rehearse that and go through that. I'm happy to report that our goals were very modest when we started. We were wanting to get potentially as many as 100 people onboarded and maybe 1,000 courses. We blew right on past that. I am accused routinely of sandbagging here. We are at 1,000 onboardings now and 50,000 course completions over the course of about 4 years. So it's really been great. And what's kind of neat about it, it's become standard in our corporation. It's now a best practice sharing. And now I have sister companies reaching out to me saying, okay, we need to launch this LMS system thing. You know, what would you do? How would you do it? And that's kind of my last piece of advice for people getting into this is anything is content. I know content creation is just scares people because they don't know how they're going to make a video. You can certainly make your own videos, but anymore, it's standard when we do a in-person training or a webinar, you record it and post it. And that way, those who can't attend because of the timing can just watch that recording later, participate in that way. And it gives us the means of tracking that. So it's been a great partnership. Again, thank you so much, Litmos, for the award. It's a lot of work going in, so it always helps for a little bit of appreciation as well.
A little bit of recognition. It
Absolutely
certainly helps. You know, it's not as tasty as chocolate, but man, it feels good. It feels good, doesn't it? Chad,
Absolutely.
Thank you
so
Ryan. Much. Congratulations on the award, and can't wait to see the next milestone, the next 10,000 course completion. So congratulations, Chad, and we'll talk again soon. So that brings us, ladies and gentlemen, to our next category and winner for Best Authored Course, Headspace. Sarah McLeod, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It is definitely a privilege to be here. And before we get started, I just wanted to send a quick shout out to my partner, Brian Wong. He was not able to be here today, but he was my partner in creating this training and setting everything up in Litmos. And I also wanted to give a quick shout out to the entire information security team at Headspace, who without their help, this training would not be possible. So
shout out to the team. Shout out to the team.
Yes, it's always a
Takes
team
a village, right?
It sure does. We've been using Litmos for about 5 years now, training all of our employees, over about 1,500 employees. And in case, quick background, in case anybody's not aware, Headspace is an end-to-end mindfulness, meditation, and mental health care mobile application. So what we do is we are a mental health care provider to 170 million members across 70 countries. So that means that security and privacy of our members is of paramount importance to us. So we use Litmos as our compliance platform to deliver this privacy and security training to our employees. So that way we can, help them and prepare them to protect that information. So when Headspace merged with Ginger back in 2021, we had like two separate learning management systems going on.
Right.
And so the security and compliance teams did an evaluation of both of them and decided to roll Litmos out as our consolidated training platform. So, and as such, we were able to really take advantage of the automation tools that Litmos offered, which made it really easy to assign our privacy and security training, and really easy for our people leaders to follow their team's training life cycle from start to finish, allowing them to really strike that balance between training and workload so that they could prioritize that privacy and security training. So we basically used Litmos as another building block in our privacy and security awareness culture within our organization.
Wow.
So it really was a very, very useful platform, and we're very grateful to Litmos for that. And as far as ROI is concerned, so Headspace's information security team, we scoured a number of different courses across several platforms, and none of them really met the requirements that we needed specific to privacy and security. So we decided to just create this in-house training, and we needed to comply with several different regulations, HIPAA, which is privacy and security regulation in the United States, GDPR as a privacy regulation in the EU, CCPA, which is a state-specific data privacy regulation in California, just like a myriad of different regulations related to privacy and security that we need to be mindful of. And we created this in-house privacy and security training to basically cover all of that under the umbrella of privacy and security training. So the goal of our training has several objectives. We help our employees recognize what sensitive information is within Headspace. We help them understand their role in protecting that information, safeguarding that information. We help them understand how to report compliance issues. So if something happens, they understand who to go to when they need to raise a concern. So we also help them become aware of the general security practices that are specific to Headspace, and ultimately, and most importantly, build a culture of security and compliance awareness within our organization to just reinforce that all employees are responsible for protecting that sensitive information. Because we are dealing with people's, most of the time when people come to Headspace, they're coming to us in a very vulnerable position, and they're sharing information with us that's that they hold very near and dear to them. So it's up to us to protect that information and keep it secure and keep it private.
Absolutely.
And we are very proud as a team that we were able to author and record all of this entire training in-house. So the training slides were created in-house, the recording is done in-house, and it just adds that level of personalization and connecting with our employees, which then lets them know that we put the effort into this training to bring them quality and relevant training that they need to protect that information and be aware of the current security and privacy issues that might be out there, because everybody knows privacy and security threats change daily.
Yeah.
So we obviously need to be up to date on all of that. And as such, our team has received excellent feedback from multiple top level employees, right down to your analysts, about the quality of the training, the relevance it has to Headspace requirements, and that just wouldn't have been possible with your typical generalized boilerplate training. So not only has our privacy and security training really helped us with our high trust certification and our SOC 2 compliance, but we've also seen at least a 50% increase in notifications related to phishing emails, smishing alerts, and a drastically increased engagement on our internal security Slack channel, which is huge for us. So that means that people are aware, they're paying attention, they're noticing things. So there's always the saying that, if your employees aren't coming to you with concerns, then you should be concerned.
Yeah.
So it's excellent that we're providing this training, that employees are not only engaged in, but then acting on and reaching out to us with all of this and letting us know what's happening.
Yeah, it sounds like you have developed a successful training program. This is someone who creates some training from time to time. You cannot say it enough. The level of effort it takes, and until you've done it yourself, to create a course that is not only relevant but also engaging, and then has positive impact after the training has been completed. So first of all, just like congratulations on that piece alone, because that is huge and y'all should all be proud. We also have a quick question for you. Let's see, Kristen, can we go ahead and pull that question up? So the question was about your training there that you talked about building. Was this done through the Litmos Content Author tool, or did you create the training using a different tool?
We actually used a different tool. We used Google Slides to create the slides, for the training and recorded it on Zoom and pieced it together that way. So we are, I think another presenter mentioned they're like a small team with a tight budget. So we are a smaller team, and we were able to create this fantastic training with a tight budget, and got such great feedback on it. And which leads me to the last piece. Your advice for customers is just go ahead and create that custom content. Don't be afraid to, with a smaller team, just, create the content that your employees will appreciate it, because they will see that you've put in that effort to make it customized, to reach out to them, to personalize it. And it really does make a difference. Absolutely. With the interaction you get from the organization. Absolutely. And absolutely take advantage of those built-in automation tools. That really does give a lot of leverage to your people leaders to kind of follow that learning path of their teams and help them manage their workload with those training priorities.
Very well said, Sarah. And hey, look, I've had to be scrappy before too. There ain't nothing wrong with a Google slide and a Zoom recording, any port in a storm, whenever y'all are ready to take that to the next level, you holler at me and we'll take a look at that content author tool together. But Sarah, congratulations again to you and the entire team. So well deserved, and such a fabulous impact you're having for people across the world. So thank you so much for joining us today. Can't wait to see what's next for y'all. You bet. We want to have a little quick honorable mention for another customer who tied for best authored course. This is Lent Australia. For anyone with friends in Australia, they are all asleep right now, and I don't blame them for being unable to join today, but we didn't want to leave them out. So another fabulous round of applause and congratulations to Lent Australia for best authored course there, along with Headspace. Which brings us, ladies and gentlemen, to our final category and final award, the best not-for-profit training program. And the winner is Blue Cross and Liz Reed. Liz, welcome and congratulations.
Thanks, Ryan. Hi, everyone. I'm Liz, Digital Learning Specialist at Blue Cross, and wanted to say a big thank you to Litmos. Our team are delighted to accept this award. Blue Cross is a UK charity that helps pets in need and their owners through a variety of services and support. This might be through our animal hospitals, education services, pet food banks, adoption and rehoming centres, our pet loss service. We have around 50 charity shops, and we also campaign to improve animal welfare. All of this work is supported by over 2,500 fantastic volunteers. So we have a very diverse learning audience, which is where Litmos first came to our rescue a few years back. Blue Horizons, which is the brand name we use for our Litmos instance, started life as a great solution for us to be able to reach and provide induction and essential training for our volunteers, as back then our small L&D team just didn't have the capacity to provide classroom training to everyone across the UK. We then did the same for our employees, which was great. It freed up capacity and solved our initial problem. But we could see the potential for it to be a place where we could really start to tailor and personalise learning. The big game changer for us was when we integrated Blue Horizons with our employee database and then our volunteer database. Now we have completely automated account management with single sign-on. This dramatically reduced the amount of time spent on admin for everyone. Mm-hmm. But these integrations also built capacity for us to manage all the variables in between. For example, if someone changes name, team, role, or manager, this gets updated daily and was information Blue Horizons had never had before. This was very powerful for us as it unlocked huge potential to then start tailoring and auto-assigning learning according to role. So when L&D were approached by our colleagues in rehoming to support delivery of a blended learning programme for specific roles, we were able to say, yes, we can, and here's how. And the Animal Rehoming Knowledge Programme, ARC for short, was born. For the first time, we were able to offer a blended learning programme where a series of animal care e-learning and classroom training we built in-house sits side by side, easily accessible to learners, managers and admin in one place on Blue Horizons. Along with our integrations, we achieved this by utilising Litmos Assign, ILT sessions integrated with MS Teams, learning paths and the manager dashboard. So now we can easily pick and mix from the ARC suite of resources to tailor and auto-assign products to individual roles. So effectively, each person has their own personalised dashboard according to their training needs. Mm-hmm. There is a halo effect to this too. With role-specific training and a range of optional personal development courses on offer, learners now have multiple reasons to visit Blue Horizons and are motivated to do so. This means learners are more inclined to do their annual corporate compliance courses too, such as GDPR, and our compliance uptake averages around 90%. It's very easy to schedule reporting too, but we like to promote use of the manager dashboard. And I love the new Insights tab that has just been released. So I recommend you take a look if you haven't already. My top tip, invest in a multi-link account. We use this as a sandbox and I can play, try things out and mess things up without impacting our live instance. I build out prototypes to demo to stakeholders and involve learners too. It's quick and easy to then get buy-in or consensus, and I learn more about our audience and any barriers to learning they might face. So that's our journey so far, leveraging Litmos to solve role-specific needs across a wide and diverse audience. We are currently completing the first phase of ARC, but already looking to roll out more widely in the new year, along with seeing an increase in requests from other areas of the charity on their training needs. So exciting times with Litmos ahead. Thank you.
Liz, thank you. And as an animal lover, I was just so happy to see that you guys won this award. So thank you for everything that you and everyone at Blue Cross does. Congratulations on the award, and you must keep us posted on the new initiatives in 2024. I can't wait to see what you guys launch. So thank you and congratulations again.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Well, folks, that about wraps up our 2023 Lenny Awards. Thank you again for joining us, and we can't wait to see your submissions next year. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.